We all have turning points in life. Mine came inside this building right here.
Are you ready to have your turning point moment? That's the question Larry Benedict is asking today. Larry is one of the few dozen people to earn the label Market Wizard. But he didn't start out that way, and he didn't get there by investing the normal way. His turning point came over 40 years ago at the Chicago Board Options Exchange.
Well, Kim, I was a young trader and I wanted to hit it big. I wanted to become a millionaire. The problem was I was absolutely terrible. No matter what I tried, nothing worked. I got fired more times than I can count.
But then Larry got a mentor, a man named Larry Lavecchio, and everything changed.
Well, he was a few years older than me, and he was the real deal. He showed me how to trade the right way. Before long, I was making $1,000 a day, then $10,000 a day, then $100,000 a day. Eventually, I ran my own hedge fund. It was one of the most successful in the entire world.
When Larry saw his opportunity, he seized it. And he would go on to help his hedge fund clients make millions of dollars. Now he wants to do something even better with you. He's looking for a small group of motivated students to be part of a radical mentorship program. It has nothing to do with buy and hold, and it flies in the face of everything a financial planner would ever tell you. It's the boldest, most ambitious plan you've probably ever seen to give the non-Wall Street trader the tools to generate Wall Street-like wealth.
Kim, Wall Street tells you there's only one way to get rich, and that is buy and hold. But how's that working out for everyone? Since 2000, the market's delivered around 7% per year on average. At that rate, it would take you 36 years to turn $100,000 into $1 million retirement. 36 years, and that doesn't even account for inflation. If you factor that in, it's up to 50 years. Maybe that works for you if you're 20, but if you're near retirement age, there is no way.
According to Larry, Wall Street says one thing and does another. They've done a really good job of keeping their secrets to themselves, but anyone can use them.
I'm not talking about crazy complicated strategies. I hate those. I'm not talking about taking huge risks. I hate risk. I'm talking about using a few simple Wall Street techniques that could help you buy back years of your retirement.
With Larry's program, all you have to focus on is a small group of popular stocks. Yet, instead of getting normal returns, you can amplify them by as much as 10x. In other words, while others make $1, you could make $10. And while this may sound impossible, Larry's already shown thousands of proteges across the globe how to do exactly that. And they've had the chance to crush the market.
I love helping everyday folks because money gives you time. It gives you freedom. That's what this is all about. It's about having the chance to enjoy life while you still can. That's why I'm here today.
Does your program take work?
Absolutely, Kim, but not a lot, however. I do all the hard work for you. But the get-rich-quick schemes are all bogus. Nothing happens without work. But the good news is I'm here to help you. I've helped beginning traders and I've helped advanced traders. If you're willing to put in a little work, my program can work for you.
If you're tired of settling for mediocre returns and are looking for a way to potentially fast-track your retirement, well, you've come to the right place. I've spent the past few days with Larry, traveling all over, learning about him and his program. If this approach is everything it claims it to be, this could be a game changer for anyone at or near retirement. You could potentially get 2 times, 5 times, even 10 times bigger returns than you're used to, using the same stocks. Over the next few minutes, you'll get the full story. He'll reveal exactly how his strategy works. He'll lay out his track record, and he'll also reveal why he's coming forward now. Larry called the 2020 and 2022 crashes along with the volatility we've seen so far this year. But now he has an even bigger and more important forecast. It's all coming up in today's program. Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Monning. Thank you so much for joining me for this look into Larry Benedict's Market Wizard Protege program. And of course, thank you, Larry, for being here and for your willingness to take me to the trading floor in Chicago.
Well, Kim, it's my pleasure. I didn't build this program overnight. It's the culmination of my over 40-year career. It's only fitting to take you where it all started.
Well, let's talk about that, Larry. You've put together a pretty ambitious program. Some might even say a little too ambitious. Do you really think it's possible for everyday folks to learn and apply the same types of strategies that you use to become a market wizard?
Absolutely. With the right guidance, I believe just about anybody could do this. Listen, I didn't get where I am because I'm a genius. I'm certainly not.
Okay, well, I don't know about that. There is a quote from one of your former interns in the book Hedge Fund Market Wizards, and he says the things Benedict does mentally, other people need computers to do. So clearly, you're pretty bright.
Even still, early on, I struggled. There were days where I didn't think I would be able to do it. But having a mentor is a huge advantage. It can save you years of effort. A good example are the famous turtle traders. Have you heard of them?
Turtle traders? No. Who are they?
It's an incredible story, but back in the 1980s, a legendary trader named Richard Dennis wanted to prove that anyone could become a successful trader. So he agreed to teach his method to a small handful of everyday people and let them trade his own money.
And what happened?
As a group, the students were able to make a combined $175 million in only 5 years. Let me repeat that. They made $175 million, and that was in the 1980s.
Wow. And it was all thanks to having a trading mentor?
Yes, this is why so many people seek out mentors. Warren Buffett is a perfect example. From a young age, Buffett loved the markets. You can see that in his high school yearbook.
Yeah, look at that. It says, likes math, a future stockbroker.
But Buffett knew he couldn't do it alone. He would learn much faster with some help. So he sought out Benjamin Graham.
Benjamin Graham. He's the father of value investing, right?
Yes. First, Buffett picked up a copy of Benjamin Graham's book, The Intelligent Investor. Then he applied to Columbia Business School. He studied directly under Graham, and the rest is history. Buffett became one of the richest people on the earth.
Nobody's going to get that wealthy from your mentorship program, correct?
Right, but I'm confident it will be very rewarding. I know because throughout my career, I've mentored hundreds of people.
This was on Wall Street?
Yes, I've been on both sides of it. As a young trader, I worked under senior traders. I had to work my way up. At one place, if you didn't make $1 million, you would get fired.
Seriously? You saw that happen?
Absolutely. That happened to a friend of mine. It was tough. It forced me to produce.
I'll bet. And eventually, though, you had guys working under you.
Yes, at Spear Leads and Kellogg, I had a whole team under me.
And how did that work exactly?
They were responsible for managing millions of dollars, and I had to help them. I was constantly giving them advice, showing them my strategies. I've mentored juniors, advanced traders, and everything in between. I'm proud to say that many of my traders went on to have unbelievable trading careers. Of course, today my focus is on those at or near retirement, and I've been able to help these folks too.
Yes, you have. Now, I'm going to come back to these folks that you're talking about, and I know we're going to hear from some people on your team who you're currently mentoring as well. But let's go ahead and dive into your program. How does it work?
Well, the goal is to get your retirement on the fast track, the Wall Street way. You're not going to do that trading the normal way. You need to amplify your potential gains. To do that, we use a combination of trading and coaching.
What kind of trading?
First and foremost, we use a straightforward option strategy. Now, there are a lot of myths about options, but here's the truth. Options are a dream come true for everyday folks.
Why is that?
Because options give you leverage. That's a fancy way of saying they amplify your potential gains.
Meaning when others make $1, you could make $2, $5, even $10.
Exactly. That makes them the perfect vehicle to jumpstart your retirement. It's possible to capture 10 years worth of market gains in just a few days.
Seriously?
Yes, I've done it. For example, a while back, I recommended an option trade. Over the next month, the underlying stock soared as much as 18%.
In a month? Larry, that's not a small move. That's a pretty big one.
It sure was, but guess what? The option delivered a 300% gain in just 4 days.
Wow. So your proteges had the chance to make more than 10 times bigger gains in a fraction of the time. Is that an extreme move?
Kim, not at all. Look at another trade I issued. This time around, the underlying stock fell 5%.
And what did your option recommendation deliver?
Well, it made 120% in just 11 days. That's the power of leverage.
In other words, it creates a multiplier effect. So an option can take a small move in either direction and multiply it by 5x, 10x, even 20x or more.
That's right. And with my approach, I've made it as easy as possible. All you have to do is focus on a handful of blue chip stocks. We trade the same ones over and over.
So with your method, you can ignore earnings reports, Fed announcements, all the talking heads on CNBC. You can ignore 99% of stocks. You can just trade options on a small group of popular stocks again and again.
Yes, that's the secret to buying back the years of your retirement. I was lucky I learned this early on in my career. I got started in the pits of the CBOE in the 1980s. It's the largest U.S. options exchange. Eventually, it dawned on me I didn't need to trade everything. In fact, later on at Spear Leads and Kellogg, I specialized in a single ticker, the XMI.
All you did was trade that index.
Yes, all day, every day. It was my entire focus. It worked out great.
That's an understatement. Yeah, you went on to have a historic 20-year run on Wall Street. Your hedge fund was ranked in the top 1% in the entire world with an international following, and your clients included the Royal Bank of Canada, Bank of New York, and even the Saudi National Commercial Bank, among others. At the peak, Larry, you were managing nearly $1 billion. So you're saying a targeted options approach played a big part in that?
Yes, it was the key. And it's not just for me. I've been sharing my simple options technique with everyday folks for years now. It's worked out great for them, for sure.
Yeah, and we have some examples there on the screen. After trying out one of Larry's recommendations, Rod R. wrote, over 800%. That's my biggest 24-hour trade I've had in over 20 years. Thanks, Larry. And Karen W. said, what a treat to have such a quick move that was so profitable. $7,000. Thank you. And Chris N. says, I made $12K. I get the feeling that Larry's strategy is the only thing I will need to retire comfortably. I mean, these trades are truly exceptional, Larry.
They are for sure. I love hearing that feedback. You're not going to get these results investing the normal way. That's why in my protege program, we don't buy and hold. We don't touch regular stocks. We only use leverage plays like options. But that's just the start. I also provide coaching.
When you say coaching, what do you mean?
Listen, trading can seem daunting. Am I right?
For sure. I mean, learning all the terms, figuring out how the markets work, it's enough to make your head spin.
I'll break all of that down for you. Now, of course, I don't give insider information or personalized investment advice. Instead, I offer what I call regular strategy sessions. I put together tutorials on my own trading techniques. I hold weekly AMAs and more. With this combination, you should have everything you need.
Can you walk us through this? I want to see how this works in real life.
Sure. Jump back to January. I briefed my proteges on what to expect in 2025. After a quiet 2024, I said change was coming.
Yes, you did. And it looks like you warned we're likely to see a big increase in volatility in 2025.
That's right. I discussed tariffs and the Fed. I explained why that would likely cause some early turbulence in the market.
And this was well before President Trump warned that things would get bumpy, right?
Yes, I warned about it beforehand. Almost immediately, my proteges had the chance to see gains 5, 10, and even 15 times bigger than the market.
All using just a handful of tickers?
Yes. For example, I zeroed in on QQQ.
Now, that's the index fund that tracks the NASDAQ, yes?
Yes. It's one of my favorite securities. I probably traded it thousands of times in my career. I know its patterns very well. And in January, I recommended it 3 different times.
And look there, we can see the results. It delivered gains like 52% in 2 days, 60% in 4 days, 19% in 3 hours, and more.
Keep in mind, the NASDAQ only gained 2% that month.
So you could have made what? 15 times bigger gains in a fraction of the time?
That's right. Isn't that great, Kim?
Yes.
Had I followed the so-called retirement experts, my readers would have seen next to nothing. Instead, they could have made thousands of dollars from their modest investment.
I gotta ask, was this a fluke?
Not at all. Jump ahead to March. That was a bad time for the markets.
It sure was, and we can see that there. Forbes said it was the worst month in years. The S&P 500 fell 5%. In that environment, your protégés had a chance to make money?
Yes. I recommended QQQ 3 more times. We saw gains like 10% in a day and 17% in 4 days.
And the only loss was a small 5%? So none of those macroeconomic headwinds mattered? As the market fell, your readers had the chance to make hundreds or even thousands of dollars over and over again?
That's right. None of it mattered. Remember, this is not a buy and hold strategy. We don't have to ride out bad months. It's possible to make money even when stocks fall. April is a great example of that.
Well, I remember April. That's when the tariff panic reached its peak. At one point, the market fell as much as 11%. And once again, you showed your readers how to avoid all that chaos and even make money.
Yes, in April, I recommended and closed out 4 winning QQQ trades. You could see the results.
Yeah, look there. It looks like this time they returned gains like 18% in a day, 29% in 1 week, and 58% in just 3 hours. Really? Just 3 hours?
Yes. Let me put the last one in perspective. Over the past 25 years, the NASDAQ averaged around 7% returns per year. We made 8 times that in just a few hours.
Wow. So during a very turbulent couple of months, your protégés had the chance to crush the market. And all that time, you were offering your insights too? I mean, strategy sessions and so forth?
Yes. Weekly Q&A sessions, regular updates, encouragement, everything that you will need.
Larry, was this an exceptionally good period?
No. Jump back to 2022. In January, I explained what to expect for the year. I broke down all the danger signs that I was seeing and issued a warning.
And you didn't mince words. I'll say that. You said all indexes will be negative for the year, with the NASDAQ underperforming all indexes. And if I recall, that's exactly what happened, right?
Yes, the NASDAQ posted its worst start in history, the Dow its worst start since World War II, and then in March, I followed up with more instructions. The Fed had just raised interest rates for the first time in years. Nobody knew what to expect. But with a series of charts, I explained why many more hikes were likely to come.
And that turned out to be accurate as well.
Yes, my readers were well prepared for a difficult market.
How did your trades work out?
Well, we did fantastic. I recommended QQQ 7 times that year. Each time was a winner.
Yeah, it looks like we could have seen gains like 19% in 5 days, 7% in 6 days, 12% in 2 days, 23% in 2 days, and more.
We crushed the market. And again, put these trades in perspective. Take that 7% winner. That doesn't sound like much, but consider the time frame.
Right, just 6 days.
Normally, it takes a year to get that from the NASDAQ. Not for my protégés. They had the chance to fast-track their retirement.
Right, they're buying back time. And it looks like this is just a small sample. In 2023, you delivered gains like 30% in 3 days, 34% in 3 days, 20% in a week, and all from trading funds that track the broader market. And let's jump to 2024. 24% in 7 days, 22% in 7 days, 88% in 42 days, 66% in 6 days, 100% in 6 days, 69% in 16 days, 127% in just 8 days, and on it goes.
Obviously, not every trade has been a winner, but since we launched the program, look at the returns on cash.
Larry, am I seeing this right? 436%?
You're seeing that right.
Over the same time period, the market delivered around 50%. So you've crushed the market by 8 times? I mean, that's unbelievable.
Kim, can you see why I'm here today?
Yeah.
Can you see why I believe this could fast track your retirement?
It's becoming clear. The difference is really night and day.
Imagine this was your new reality. Think about how fast your nest egg could grow. Think about the time you'd be able to buy back.
Right. Now, of course, we all know that the past doesn't equal the future, but wow, it's hard to argue with that kind of success, Larry.
This is the best way I know to make money in the markets, Kim. Even if you only trade a few times a month, the money could add up fast. You could be looking at thousands of dollars every month with plenty of time to enjoy your life.
Well, it sure sounds better than managing dozens of stocks, trying to find the next hot stock or waiting decades to see results like a typical retirement expert recommends.
It's so much better, Kim. That's why everyday folks love it. As soon as you become a member, you will have access to all my coaching sessions and all of my recommendations.
Larry, clearly your program is working, but it makes me wonder, why haven't I heard about this type of approach before?
Well, the media would never tell you to invest like this. They go bankrupt. Could you imagine CNBC saying, look, the truth is you can ignore 99% of all stocks. What would happen to their ratings?
That's a fair point. As someone who's sat at a news desk, I can definitely confirm that their whole business model is getting you worked up about every little thing.
Exactly. They could never promote a straightforward approach like this. Same with Fidelity, E-Trade, and all the rest. They want you trading everything all the time. That's how they make money. Even Wall Street doesn't want others trading the way that we do.
Why? Wall Street is where you learned these techniques, so why don't they want others using them?
Kim, fees. Wall Street loves the old system. They want you to think it takes a lifetime to build a nest egg.
Okay, that makes sense. Even a small management fee really adds up over decades.
Exactly. Wall Street makes billions of dollars from fees. That's why the approach remains a secret. And it's such a shame. The traditional retirement isn't working for millions of people.
Yeah, it's really not. We're looking there at the median 401k for folks 65 and older. Just $88,000? Is it really that low?
That's it. And I have a few more stats for you.
Wow, look here. It says 68% of people are worried they'll never be able to retire.
Well, I'm thinking about all these people. They did everything right. They worked hard, they saved, diversified, but they just can't get there. This is happening all across America.
Yeah, take a look at your screen there. Nearly 4 out of 5 people think we're headed for a retirement crisis.
Well, we're talking about millions of people, Kim. That's why I've been building out this program for the last few years. So far, it's worked out great.
It definitely has for Chris K. He says, "Hi, Larry. I entered my first trade last week using your protege program and made a profit of 23% in just 2 days. Thanks for helping the common folks." And Lawrence L. said, "I have made 11 trades with an average profit of 32.4%. Larry, I believe you are the real deal." These are people who've tried out your program, right?
Yes, it is so great to get this feedback. I have many more notes just like these.
Yeah.
No more spending hours every day glued to your computer. No more chasing every hot trade.
All you've got to do is just follow this program and apply your techniques.
That's it. That's why I'm so excited to introduce it to a whole new group of motivated students. And that's why I put together a special report to help everyone get started. Before I get to that, there is something else I think you should know. As you can see, between my option trades and my coaching, you have everything you need to fast track your retirement. But I'm always looking for more. Recently, I've added a new type of trade to the program. I call them multipliers. They're not options, yet they allow you to multiply the gains of big blue chip stocks by 2 or 3 times.
Okay, so instead of getting a normal return, it's possible to double or triple that without using options? And that sounds too good to be true.
I know, Kim, but let me show you. Take NVIDIA. For the past few years, it's been the talk of Wall Street, right?
Oh, definitely. Ever since the AI boom got underway, its share price has soared.
Absolutely. Last year alone, it returned 171%. Now, that's a great gain.
Oh, yeah.
Most people would be thrilled with that.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Had you used an NVIDIA amplifier trade, you could have made 344%.
Over the same time frame?
Same time frame.
So NVIDIA goes on a major run. Its investors see a fabulous gain, but with an amplifier trade, you could have made twice as much.
Exactly.
Do you have to jump through a bunch of hoops?
No, obviously there's some effort. You have to place the trade, but you can do it in your existing brokerage account. Instead of typing in NVIDIA, NVDA, as the ticker symbol, you change one letter. Just like that, you could make twice as much.
And is this something unique to NVIDIA?
No. Look at Tesla. At the end of last year, Tesla went on a major run. Do you remember that, Kim?
Oh, yeah, I sure do. And we can see it there on the chart. In a little over a month, it soared 97%. Another great gain.
It is. But remember, we're not looking for great. This is the Market Wizard Protege program. We're looking for extraordinary. In this case, had you used another amplifier trade, you could have made as much as 261%.
Nice. And the only difference is instead of typing in TSLA, Tesla's regular ticker symbol, you just change one letter.
That's it, Kim. Pretty neat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what's the secret here? What allows these trades to deliver twice the gain?
Well, Kim, it all comes back to leverage. Like I said earlier, leverage is Wall Street's secret to success. It allows you to amplify your potential gains. That's what's happening here.
Okay, so these amplifier trades have leverage built into them. That's how they're able to deliver option-like gains without actually using options?
Exactly. I can turbocharge even the biggest of stocks. For example, jump back to last year. As you may recall, the market had a great year.
Sure did. Take a look there. It soared 23% for the year.
Yes, but once again, by placing an amplifier trade, you could have more than doubled that. Think about that, Kim. Normally, beating the market is hard. The average retirement plan underperforms the market. But now you could do that with a click of a button.
Now, are these some of the best market examples of these amplifier trades?
They're certainly good. And look, I'm not saying these trades are foolproof. It's still possible to lose money. But believe it or not, it actually gets better.
Better? How so?
You can amplify your potential gains when stocks fall, like Tesla. After its big run-up, it hit a rough patch. It fell 42% in 2 months. Most investors got crushed on that move. But with another amplifier trade, you could have made 63%.
Wow, incredible. So these amplifier trades are even able to amplify losing stocks without shorting.
That's right. No shorting, just placing a trade in your existing brokerage account. You could walk away with a huge gain in a short amount of time.
Larry, how is this even possible? This is like a whole new world you're opening up to us.
This is what happens when you ditch the old system, Kim. In the Protege program, we don't target average returns. Forget about hoping for 7% annual returns. We use Wall Street's best-kept secrets. Once you start using them, the impossible becomes possible.
Well, I can see why you've started including these trades in your program. Going forward, your proteges will have access to all of your amplifier recommendations?
Every single one of them, Kim. Each one is designed to double or even triple the returns on the best stocks.
Nice. So putting this together, your proteges get new options recommendations every month, multiple times a month even. They get amplifier trades, possibly multiple times a month as well. And all the while, they get your analysis, your trading strategies, video updates, teaching, and more.
That's right. Imagine what your monthly calendar could look like. The first week I issue an option trade, you double your money. The next week I issue an amplifier trade, you double the market. The next week we have a strategy session. I warn you about a downturn and you're able to get ahead of all of that. And every week I post my latest Ask Me Anything session. Put simply, you could have everything you need to fast track your retirement.
And obviously, Larry, you're not saying every trade will be a winner.
Of course not. But when you're targeting amplified returns, you don't have to. During my 20-year winning streak, I had losses. But by amplifying gains, I was able to make my clients millions of dollars. We're following the same playbook here. I don't know another program like it. When you combine everything, you have all the tools you need to become the best possible trader.
Now, Larry, how much money do you think folks could actually make?
Think of it this way. A while back, I got a note from Richard, one of my proteges. He told me that his first trade was the best trade he made all year. Obviously, I can't guarantee everyone will have the same experience, but based on history, the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. And your overall results, I got to say, they back it up. Beating the market by 8x, that's wild. Most people, including professionals, struggle to even keep pace with the market, but you've gone and blown it out of the water. So why aren't you using these strategies to run a hedge fund? Why did you walk away?
Listen, I'm glad I was able to make money for those folks. But a few years ago, my mission changed. I got tired of helping the richest of the rich. I wanted to help everyday folks, the people who need it the most. Let's face it, retirement isn't working like it should. And based on what I'm seeing, things could even get worse.
Now, is that your prediction? You believe we're headed for a rough patch?
Yes. We've had several years of plenty. Now we're looking at several years of famine.
And I know you've written a lot about interest rates. Back in 2022, you accurately predicted that the Fed would issue a series of rate hikes, which helped trigger the crash that year. Do you see interest rates playing a role again?
Yes, all signs suggest the Fed is entering a lowering cycle. Most people think that's a good thing, but it can create big problems.
Now, what do you mean? Because I thought lower interest rates actually stimulate the economy.
Well, eventually it does, but oftentimes the Fed is too late. You see a recession first. You can see it on this chart. This is the federal funds rate. When it drops, the Fed is lowering rates. Do you see those shaded areas?
Yeah. What are those?
Well, those are recessions.
Okay, so the last 4 times the Fed has lowered interest rates, it triggered a recession?
As crazy as that sounds, yes. This is a major warning sign.
Yeah, so the choppiness we've seen, especially at the beginning of the year, you think we could see more of that?
Absolutely. I don't think we'll see a full-blown market crash, but I think we're in for several difficult years. If you're not prepared, your retirement could be put on hold.
And yet, I gotta say, you don't seem worried.
I've had some of my best years in this type of environment. My strategy is perfect for what's coming next.
All right, so we've talked about how you focus on a small group of tickers. Do you have a favorite right now that you could share with us?
Sure. This is QQQ. This is one of my favorite tickers. I've used it before many times. It's perfect for today's market. If you trade it today, you could potentially double your money in as little as 24 hours. But this is just the start. I plan to recommend it repeatedly in the next coming weeks. I believe you could have several opportunities to see huge gains in very little time.
All right, so QQQ. So how can someone know if this program, this protege program, is suitable for them?
Obviously, anyone can join, and I hope everyone watching today does. That said, I'm looking for people ready to take the first step.
So in other words, your proteges don't have to be glued to their computer all day. You do the hard work for them. But that said, you're looking for serious people, the folks ready and willing to put in the time and effort to learn how to take their nest egg to that next level.
Yes. If you're ready to take the next step, if you're looking for the chance to make money year after year, no matter what is happening in the markets, then it's time to get started.
All right, Larry, so what can everyone watching do right now?
Well, Kim, it's very simple. The Protege program is run under the banner One Ticker Trader. The name is to remind us of how the program got started. I got on the path to becoming a market wizard trading one ticker, so we thought the name was fitting. When you become a member of One Ticker Trader, you're enrolling as one of my proteges.
This membership is completely unique. Larry's research service, One Ticker Trader, is the only way I know of to get Wall Street's best-kept secrets straight from a market wizard. So what can folks expect to get?
Put simply, I'm taking you under my wing. This isn't a one-time thing. The goal is to give you all the tools you need to fast-track your retirement the Wall Street way. In each monthly issue, I share my latest insights. I like to think of them as my strategy sessions.
So each month, you reveal your latest options trading themes, your latest amplifier trade ideas, your latest analysis, and your latest coaching. Is there a set amount of research each month?
No, it depends on the circumstances. Sometimes it's a lot, other times it's less. But either way, you're likely to hear from me at least once a week.
And every week, you're posting Ask Me Anything sessions where you provide updates on the market and what you're planning to do next.
Yes. Again, forget about hoping for 7% annual returns. Forget about suffering through bear markets. You're on a completely different track now. You'll have everything to buy back years of your retirement.
Now, obviously, past performance doesn't guarantee future returns, and there's no such thing as a risk-free investment, and that includes Larry's approach. But the research and recommendations, they really speak for themselves. And the best part is, the program is surprisingly affordable. Others have paid Larry a small fortune for his insights. But when you join today, not only will you not have to pay anything close to that, you'll also get a series of bonuses included on the house. And tell us about the special report that you've prepared.
Well, Kim, it's called the Market Wizard Protege Program. Like I said, my strategy is built around a small group of stocks. I had thousands to choose from. I chose these for specific reasons. In the report, I'll show you how to use them.
You know, the hardest part is finding the ticker, and you've already taken care of that for us. From there, it's just a matter of understanding how they move, right?
Exactly. I'll show you how to use small moves to potentially make thousands of dollars over and over again.
I love the sound of that. And I'm just glad that our viewers can get started immediately. You showed us some of the incredible winning streaks that you've delivered. And anyone who traded your recommendations could have seen hundreds or even thousands of dollars in a matter of days, depending on their account size. Now, for a lot of folks, the chance to make that kind of money it's a game changer.
Well, Kim, the days of helplessly watching your portfolio fall with no recourse, those days are over. There's money up for grabs in the market as we speak. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. You'll get all the details in the report.
All right, plus I understand that you're going to share some additional insights in the report as well.
I will. I also reveal my secret to risk management.
You know what? I think you're really going to like this because risk management is one of your specialties. During your time on Wall Street, you went 13 years with a maximum monthly loss of just 3.5%. Folks, I got to tell you, that is unheard of. And this year alone, the entire market has posted bigger monthly losses multiple times. So how were you able to protect your clients' money so well?
Well, Kim, when you're managing millions of dollars, you can't afford to take huge losses. If the fund was down 1%, I get angry calls from my clients.
Right. 1% loss to a billionaire, that's a pretty huge number.
That's why risk management has become an obsession of mine. I've learned to spot danger signs early on just from reading the tape. I'll share my approach in that report.
Plus, he's going to reveal some other secrets as well, like why not to be scared of volatility, why you should never risk more than you can afford to lose, why Larry's strategy works in bull and bear markets, and much, much more. Plus, Larry, you've also put together some additional training material. First, you've got a special report called Larry's Guide to Options, and you also have a video training series as well. So tell us about that.
Well, I've been trading options for over 40 years now, and I've also been teaching others for decades. In my training material, I'll walk you through my unique approach.
I got to tell you, this is a golden opportunity, folks. You get to learn how to trade from a market wizard. So this is like learning how to play baseball from a Hall of Famer. Larry's going to walk you through the entire process, even how to create an account if need be. And most importantly, his specific method for trading options.
That's right. Like I said, anybody can get started trading options. It doesn't take a PhD in finance. That's a myth. You can access them through any brokerage account.
And if you've never traded options before, it's very easy to get approved. It's usually a matter of filling out a short one-page form.
That's right. In my training material, I'll show you how to trade them the right way. Already, we have a training video series, and we're always adding more. It's an ever-growing project. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it.
Well, we have a note from one of your proteges, Carolyn, and I just love this. She says, Larry, I am so grateful that you are sharing your wisdom with us. I am 84 years old and just did my first ever option trade, the DIA 1216 call. I paid $5.65 for it and just sold it this morning for $12.50. Well over 100% gain, and I could have sold it earlier this week for over 100% gain. I'm looking so forward to learning from you and exploring a whole new world. By the way, I used TD Ameritrade, and those guys walked me through opening the trade and then closing it today. They are marvelous for newbies like me. I'm so happy you recommended them for options trading. And again, thank you for giving me a whole new life in a new world.
Oh, Kim, I loved hearing that. I have a lot more stories just like that.
I know you do. So from the sounds of it, your new protege should have everything they need to really hit the ground running. I mean, you're rolling out the red carpet for them.
Kim, that's the idea. Look, trading doesn't have to be hard. I know that's not what the so-called experts say. They tell you you're not cut out for this. That's simply not true. You just need a mentorship program. That's what this membership is designed to do.
Not just any mentorship program. You need Larry. And as you can imagine, over the years, people have paid a pretty penny to access Larry's ideas and strategies. When he ran his hedge fund, you couldn't get access to his ideas unless you had a minimum account of $1 million. It was for multimillionaires and billionaires only. What's more, as we speak, people from all across the globe are happily paying thousands of dollars a year to access some of Larry's work. But the good news is you won't have to pay anything close to that. Given that you're probably new to Larry's work and you've probably never used an approach like this before, a 1-year membership to One Ticker Trader retails for just $4.99.
And I've arranged an even better price, Kim.
Excellent news. Okay, tell us about it.
Look, a lot of people are in a tough spot right now. Unless they fast-track their retirement, they're going to be in trouble. I believe my research can help, and I don't want the price to be an issue, so I've arranged a special deal.
Now remember, folks, we're talking about a man who's generated hundreds of millions of dollars in wealth, who had 20 profitable years in a row, and who, according to Barron's, was one of the top money makers in the entire world. To access an entire year of his ideas for such a low price, that's a steal.
There's only one catch, Kim. I can't guarantee this price will be available for long. My publisher reserves the right to raise it anytime without notice.
All right, so please don't wait. You should see a Join Now button on your screen, so go ahead and click on that. And while you're doing that, I want to mention a member of Larry's team, Lance. Now, if you've been following Larry's work, you may have seen Lance before. Larry's been mentoring him, and he recorded a video about the experience. So check it out for yourself.
Hi, I'm Lance Lucas. I'm a full-time video producer and a part-time prop firm funded trader. So I started learning how to day trade back in the summer of 2022. And for years, I struggled with consistency. But through hard work and a bit of luck, I have found myself in an amazing opportunity. Hedge fund market wizard Larry Benedict has become my trading mentor. So before working with Larry, I was trying to pass these funded challenges for years. I failed between 20 and 30 challenges just this past year. Now I can pass a funded challenge in 3 to 5 days with consistency. So Larry, he really taught me discipline, patience, and consistency, which were the 3 elements that were missing from my trading system. Losses are part of the game. He showed me how to manage my risk and stay in control of my emotions, whether I'm taking a win or a loss. So I love watching his morning live stream show, Trading Live with Larry. He has Eric Shumloff, Clem Brewer come on, and side note, I am the video producer to that show. It is a great way to start my trading day. It gives me a pulse on the market. I also love reading his market analysis and updates that he sends to his subscribers. But the thing I love the most, if you're not yet a successful trader, don't have time to learn, or simply don't want to, and I understand that, you can still get access to his trades and follow along with a true market wizard. So I'm on the verge of becoming a consistently profitable trader, and I owe much of my success to Larry and his team. So thank you, Larry. And before I sign off, I just want to say one last thing that Larry always loves to say, and I love it as well. Put a P on the page.
Hi, I'm Eric Shamalov, and as someone who's worked with Larry for a few years, I've had the rare privilege of seeing what truly sets him apart. Most gurus are going to sell you a storyline or a narrative, But Larry is giving you his actual trades raw and in real time every single day. And I work with some legendary traders on Wall Street. He is above and beyond, I would say, one of the best traders that I have ever seen. Nobody that I've seen matches his precision and instinct, and they call him a human algorithm in market wizards for a reason. 20 straight winning years, managing $1 billion fund says it all. But what I've learned from him above all else is how to handle pressure, what to do, how to do it, especially when a trade goes against you. So if you're trading with Larry, you're not just learning, you're in the best hands in the business.
Obviously, since they work for Larry, their interactions with him are different from what you'll get as a member of One Ticker Trader. But the point is, Larry's methods and teaching have given them a huge boost. So how does it feel to hear that?
Well, it's fantastic, Kim. It's why I got into this business. My mentor was a huge help to me. I'm glad I can play that role for Eric and Lance. But really, they deserve a lot of credit too. They've worked hard. They're living proof of what I've been saying.
All right, when you take that step, here's a recap of everything you'll get when you become a member. 1 full year of One Ticker Trader. Every month, Larry will provide analysis, recommendations, and more. You'll have everything you need to potentially start making the types of returns that we've discussed here today. He'll do this month after month for the next year, correct?
Yes, and I'll provide updates as needed.
Sounds good. Now, does that include both buy and sell recommendations?
Yes, both.
Obviously, again, past performance doesn't guarantee future returns, and all investing involves risk. But as you can see, there's potential for some extraordinary results. And what's more, with these plays, your risk is limited to the amount paid for the options contract. You get to define exactly how much you want to risk. That could be as little as a few $100s. Also remember that when it comes to a targeted approach like this, Larry's the master. This was one of his secrets to his success on Wall Street, so there is no better endorsement than that.
It's my favorite way to trade, and it's by far the best way to potentially see some amazing gains in today's markets.
As a new member, you'll also get Larry's special report, the Market Wizard Protege Program. You'll get Larry's bonus report, Larry's Guide to Options, and you'll get Larry's video training series. This material is not available anywhere else. The only way you can get them at this price is through this special offer. Plus, you're also protected by Larry's 60-day money-back guarantee. Larry, how does that work?
Well, it's very simple, Kim. I'm happy to say that most of my members love my research. I get positive feedback all the time. However, if for some reason it's not for you, that's okay. Call our member services team within the next 60 days, and they'll give you a full refund of the membership fee. And to make it even fairer than fair, I'll let you keep my special reports, no questions asked. In other words, the risk is all mine.
Gotta say, it doesn't get more fair than that, folks. Just remember, this deal may not be available for long, so please don't let this opportunity pass you by. It's rare to have an opportunity to learn from someone of Larry's caliber, especially during what could be a tumultuous time in the markets. Larry's one of the few people who's gone 20 straight years without a single losing year. Now you have the chance to join him for an incredible deal. To me, you owe it to yourself to at least give it a try. All right, well, that is all the time we have. I want to thank Larry Benedict for joining us today, and I want to thank all of you watching at home for joining us as well. If you're ready to get started with Larry, just click the button on your screen. You'll be taken to a secure order form, and within minutes, you'll be able to access all of Larry's latest research and recommendations. For Larry Benedict, I'm Kim Manning, saying so long.